What's good, YouTube? Back again, another video. This time we're gonna touch on the ride share sector of YouTube. We got a gentleman here, the amazing hustler. He's gonna explain why he'd rather work 55 hours doing ride share than working 9 to 5. We're gonna watch the video and I'm gonna give my reaction.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I figured while I'm sitting here waiting for this Sonic drive-through to move, it's freaking slow, and waiting for an order here. I had a great comment that a guy left me that kind of I want to touch on because I have been getting now because I'm getting new subscribers and more people watching my videos here. Um, they don't really see the point of my challenge and the reason why I'm doing the grind. So before I get into this question, it's a great question, okay, that he or comment that he put on here. First thing I want to say is this: I'm a glutton for punishment, okay? My mindset is this: I'd rather work 50, 60 hours a week doing the same thing that I can do 40 hours or earn the same amount of money I can do in 40 hours working a regular job. Like, yes, if I work a regular job 40 hours a week, which is what they're going to offer, and do rideshare, a couple hours a day maybe, because it's too draining to do it for 40 hours and to try to manage doing rideshare every day. It's going to just be aware.
Okay, all right, so his logic is he'd rather work 55, 60 hours a week doing rideshare versus working a traditional 9 to 5. Um, just my first initial impression, I personally, to me, it kind of makes more sense to do the 9 to 5 because I mean I know there's a lot of negatives about 9 to 5s. People, you got to listen. You got bosses, supervisors, all that, stuff that want to micromanage you, blah, blah, blah. But this is the thing: 9 to 5 is guaranteed money. If you show up on time, do what you got to do, what you're gonna make is guaranteed. It's the safe bet. Versus ride share, yeah, you're gonna have to do 15, 20 hours a week more, but there's no guarantee how much you're gonna make. You may have one good week this week, and then the next 2 weeks can be trash. So I mean, it's gonna kind of hard to be. It's gonna be hard to have consistent income with rideshare.
If I, at least for me, at least. Now, if I did that, I would probably make, I could probably make about $2,500, $3,000 a month. Okay, but I rather go and do rideshare and have to work 50, 60 hours, 10 to 20 more extra hours to make a little bit more. Same, but a little bit more. But have the ability to spend now 20 to 30 hours, take my son to his practices and his games. And then when my daughter moves back here from Ohio, moves back to North Carolina.
Okay, so he has a son. So his logic is rideshare, I guess, gives him maybe more flexibility to have time to spend with his son. But you're working 10 to 20 more hours. So it's kind of like you're kind of like in the same situation. If you're working 10 to 20 more hours per week versus a job that you would have, if you work the job 40 hours a week guaranteed, you would have the rest of your time free to do whatever you want. Not to mention, you probably have some type of benefits. You probably only work maybe Monday through Friday, depending upon what industry you work in. Maybe every other weekend you work. So, to me, it seems like the 9 to 5 is the best, is the safest route.
I'm gonna have more time to spend with her. Um, I want that time. I want the ability to, show up, be there. That means more to me than my work hours. Okay, and what I mean by that is I would rather sacrifice and be in this car for 20 more hours extra to accommodate for the gas and the other costs that I'm spending.
That's another thing you definitely have to factor in when you're doing rideshare, your maintenance. Whether you own your car or maybe you rent a car, which I know renting a car from those Hertz and what's it, Avis and stuff like those rental companies can be very expensive every week.
Doing rideshare when I could just go get the regular job. So that's the reason why I choose this over that. Now, now here's the thing. Prior to 2 months ago when I had that interaction with the bartender, I was just going with the flow. I didn't see a future. I gave up on myself. I gave up on the businessman that I am, the creator that I am. You gotta remember, prior to doing rideshare, I mean, I haven't had a 9 to 5 since. I mean, I had a 9 to 5 for like 6 months in like 2011, I believe, or when I lost all my money. But prior to that, I worked at KFC before my uncle. You know, that situation was in like 2006. But after that, from two.
A common theme that I see with a lot of people who work rideshare, not saying all, but a lot of them don't have any a skill set. It's always kind of like a warehouse. They work retail. There's never really no skill set that they have.
2006 to 2008, before I got money from my uncle, um, I created businesses for myself. That worked. I started putting on events and parties. Then I inherited the money, and that's when 2008 to 2011, I just fumbled back, went through it. Then in 2011, I was broke. I went and got a job at a call center for 6 months. Then I realized, or more like 4 months.
Okay, so it sounds like he came into some money at some point, maybe about what they said 2008 to 2011. So that was some time ago, maybe about 10, 12 years ago. He came into an inheritance. He was basically living off the inheritance for those 3 years, wasn't really working. Sound like he said he had some type of history in party promotion. But and basically he wound up blowing the money that he inherited, which is basically kind of common, just like most lottery winners and most people who get inheritances. They squander the money because you don't value it. You didn't have to work for it. You didn't have to, all the blood, sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears that went into earning that money. Someone just gave it to you, so of course you probably just spend it frivolously.
Months, and I invested one full paycheck. I worked literally like 70 hours overtime to where I was able to make like a $1,500 check, and I invested 1,000 of that into a party at a hotel, and I ended up making like $4,000 off that party. And I'm like, I'm too good at what I can do, to be sitting here working at this call center and only making on average $600 to $700 unless I work 60, 70 hours a week. To not just spend the time to promote, market my brand. I created a whole nother entertainment company to do those parties, or do that hotel party, and it worked to where I did big numbers. And then after that, started throwing parties again. I started making good money. But it ain't about throwing parties or whatever. It's just about businesses. I always find a way to create a business that works. The situation I'm always in is that when I make the money for the business, or from the business, I don't properly fund my personal life. I'll go and I'll spend business.
Okay, so basically it sounds like it said he doesn't have a problem making the money, but he has a problem with managing the money and keeping the money and not knowing how to keep the business money and his personal money separated. So that's definitely something he's going to have to work on, guys. I mean, if you can't manage your money, no matter how much money you make, if you don't learn how to manage it, you're always going to have money troubles.
Money on my personal life or for personal bills, and it messes it up. Like, instead of just going and taking a certain amount of money that I know I'm going to earn from these parties that goes towards my personal life, I just go out and just take the whole deposit from my business. It's my money because it's my business. I don't have a partner ever. So I'll take this money, like that party I had, $4,200 or $4,400 I made. Um, Instead of taking that whole deposit, putting it in my business account, and then paying myself a weekly rate of like $500 a week, because I was having these parties, one big one every month, but then I was having smaller ones. I was making 5 to 1,000 a week. So instead of doing that, I would just take the whole 4,000, put it in my personal account, and I would just buy my food, buy whatever I need, pay my bills, and there was just no foundation. So that's the reason why 9 to 5 ain't really me, and I'm just the type of person that just not 9 to 5. God, but here's the thing: if things don't work out with my.
Not too sure of the whole backstory, but question that comes to mind is when he in the past he got this inheritance. How come he didn't take that money and funnel it into the party promotion business? Not sure if he did, not sure if he didn't, or maybe he did funnel the money and the businesses, it just didn't work out. It just flopped. I'm not sure, but That's a thought that came to mind.
entertainment. I'm sorry, with my, after making the $10,000 and going from there, if that doesn't work out for me, then yes, I'm gonna have to learn how to say, "Welcome to McDonald's, can I take your order?" If I don't attain a skill or a trade, which I'm planning on doing after I get that $10,000 goal met. Now to answer some of his questions real quick, he said, or suggestions, he said, cut off all entertainment subscriptions and only use free services. Here's the situation: the biggest entertainment apps I use is Apple One. I gotta have that. It's usually 30%. One moment, I got somebody coming. Oh, okay. I thought a truck was right next to it. Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah, I'm picking up an order.
Make sure that you like and subscribe to this brother's channel. I will leave the link in the description below.
Yep. Sorry about that, guys. So let me get into these questions real quick so this video doesn't go too long. On this iPhone, the only thing I don't like compared to the Galaxy is the Galaxy camera. They let you stop and pause. Maybe I gotta download it. I'm gonna download an app to use for the
Who this brother? He rambles a lot.
iPhone camera. So yeah, they let you stop, pause, and turn the camera and all that. With the iPhone, you gotta like stop the recording. I didn't want to stop the recording, but his question is from G Tyson. I don't know if he wanted me to give his name, but it was good info. So I want to make sure he gets credit for it. He said, cut off entertainment service subscriptions and use only the free services. Apple One is the biggest one, $30 a month. I gotta have it. It's family plan, I believe, and it's $30 a month. I do YouTube Premium, family. Could have like 5 different accounts, and then my son and my daughter's on my account. I think you get 6 total accounts with it, but I pay like $24 a month. I don't have Hulu. I don't have any of those apps. I cut those off for this month, because once again, I want to get caught up. Other than that, I don't have any subscription. YMCA, $75. I gotta have that because that's the only gym in this city that we can go to get his workout in. That's important to me at this point. But those are
Yeah, he definitely needs to look at his budget and try to see where he could cut back. A lot of times we think that we need everything, but when we really take a deep dive into our finances, you probably could find things that we could like, man, I really don't use this. I don't go to the gym as much as I really as I really do, so I can maybe cut the subscription off. You got to find a way to cut back and save some money.
the only subscription apps I have. Get a car that gives you better gas mileage. I made the choice to get this car at the time I was earning more and just better money than I'm doing now. Back then I was making $1,500 a week doing Uber, and I didn't think they were deactivating my account, so that happened. But
That's another downside of the gig economy. You never know when you could get deactivated. A customer can complain. They, for whatever reason, make up a lie, and literally these gig apps don't care about you. These rideshare apps don't care about you because it's a dime a dozen. It's a million other people out there that's doing rideshare. You have no. A lot of times you can't even call these companies. You got to text and email. The customer support is overseas. It's some really nasty stuff.
I chose this car because I was going through Carvana because you got approved for any car at Carvana, and I at the time was thinking to myself, I needed a yes. Yeah, thanks, you too. Thanks. Sorry about that, guys, again. But I got the car from Carvana, and I'm thinking to myself, you might laugh at this, but still hopeless romantic. I'm thinking I gotta have a manly car because I had a Camry that I was renting with Hertz for Lyft, and that car was like the best car that I ever had in my life. I'm talking about in comfort because I had 300s, I had other cars. I'm talking in comfort. That was the most comfortable.
Yeah, when you're trying to grind, especially when you're doing ride share, man, the most important thing is you got to have a car that's good on gas. I mean, I know you want to have something that's stylish, and it's just a little more probably more comfortable, but I mean, ultimately, man, that gas is going to be your biggest expense. But I mean, I'm going to cut it here. Let me know what you think. Would you rather work 55 hours, 60 hours a week doing ride share as opposed to working 40 hours a week at a typical 9 to 5? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.